If you're an endurance runner over 50, then you've probably heard it all before. Slow down, your knees won't take it, and yet you still have goals. You still want to run further, stay injury free, and may even get faster. But every time you try to push forward, something knocks you back. That's not your fault. It's the model and way of running that you're actually following. Many of you over 50 are using training strategies for people half your age, or misusing what you think are great ideas. You're utilizing things like zone 2 heart rate training. And most of you have probably tried it, but it didn't work out the way you expected. You either couldn't get a grip with it and you felt sometimes like you were walking or moving too slowly, or you kept getting injured anyway. Or you were utilizing pace a lot in your training and just ended up tired and plateaued. Or you followed a plan to the letter, worked really hard and just didn't get the results from it that you wanted. This is not your age that is the fault. It is what you are actually doing with your age. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to give up. You just need to change your habits. You need to change your framework that you're using at the moment. I call it the evergreen endurance runner model. It's built around three key things older runners need to progress. They need adaptation, consistency, and intelligent pacing. It starts by throwing out one-size-fits-all plans and learning how to train by how your body actually feels, not how you think it feels. I call this the perfect pacing method. Okay, but who the heck am I? I'm not just a coach. My name is Lee Boniface and I'm 61 years old, a runner and still progressing. I ran Brighton Marathon in 3 hours 30 minutes in 2024, and then in London this year in blazing heat ran 3:36 in the London Marathon. For my 60th birthday in 2024, I ran the ultra Race to the Kings, the 100k ultra. I won my age group. Also, many runners in the age group below. I think I finished 8th in 50 plus age group as well. In 2012, ran 10 marathons in 10 days in the Plateau challenge. I've had my injuries, I've had my setbacks. And there was a time in my early 50s where I thought it was all over for me in running. Everyone was telling me, you're getting older, what's the point? It wasn't until a chance conversation with a fellow runner and he asked me when was my peak. It really got to me because I'd never thought about it. And that's where my journey began, asking the question, what if? What if I did something different? What if I adapted? Could I become more consistent and injury-free? And I'm here to tell you that you can. But this isn't about me, it's about you. And here's the truth. You're probably running your easy runs too hard. You're doing your speed work too fast and too often, and you're relying too much on metrics like pace, heart rate zones that were never designed for a body that's aging. You're stuck in what I call boom-bust cycles of training hard, getting injured, and then the whole thing starts again. That's where so many runners I coach and talk to are, like Malcolm, who kept pushing his workouts too close to race pace and getting injured, or Sarah, who couldn't stomach gels and felt anxious on every long run until we taught her to listen to her body instead of her Garmin. I see as a running coach three big main problems for older endurance runners who are 50 plus. First and foremost, you've got age and injury fears. You've probably been told decline is inevitable. And whilst decline in some ways is inevitable, most of us are in a decline that is of our own making. And it is the fear that is driving the bus, so to speak. So you're either overtrained to compensate to fight aging process, or you just go with what society tells you and you give up hope. And then there's inconsistency. You get into these boom-bust cycles where you get into a rhythm and it all unravels either through injury or you get demotivated. And then number three, pacing confusion. There's never been a time where there's so much information and so little clarity. That's why I've created a new way of training for 50-year-old plus endurance runners. It's not based on a magic paces or totally wristwatch based zones, but on real ways to adapt as an older endurance runner. The Evergreen Runner model focuses on four key things. First and foremost, perfect pacing method, an effort-based training that's age appropriate. Secondly, the sustainable speed framework, a way of encompassing speed work so that you maximize the benefits of speed work without maximizing your risk of injury. And then thirdly, the micro strength system, an age-specific strength program that supports running, not replaces it. And finally, the support tripod. You're looking at your recovery, nutrition, as I've mentioned, strength training as well, which hold all the other parts of the program together. And the evergreen model works, not just for me, but for runners in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s, who once thought they were done with progressing, like Sarah, who struggled with stomach issues on long runs and felt anxious every time she took a gel. After learning to pace by feel instead of chasing metrics, she ran her half marathon without issues, and more importantly, with confidence. She's texted me recently to say that she's still thriving. Damien, one of my runners at the moment, is in his mid-50s, ran faster than he did in 2007. His words, "It was massive for me to beat my 2007 marathon time in 2024 at 54 years old. He followed plans before, but kept plateauing. The evergreen runner model approach gave him structure and belief." Tim was battling injury. He reduced his training load, trained smarter instead of harder, and knocked over 3 minutes off his half marathon PB time. Manny was stuck in a loop doing the same routine every week and not improving. He said working with me made him realize I was just doing the same thing over and over again. This changed the game. So he adapted. Julia had been told by physio she might never run again, and after adapting her planning and listening to her body, she completed her first half marathon in years without pain. This isn't about motivation, it's about having a model that matches where you are in your life. Older runners don't need a watered down version of a young athlete's plan. They need one that suits their body and ultimately their aspirations. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is part one of a multi-video series where I'm going to walk you through each part of the evergreen endurance model, from pacing to consistency to strength and recovery. So if you want to stop guessing, stop getting plateaued and stalling in your training, and really start progressing as an older endurance runner, subscribe to the channel and check out the next video if it's already up. Or if you're ready to go deeper and want my help applying this to your training, check out the description below for a link to the Evergreen Endurance Runner community. There is a great free training there called the Dead Zone, where I will take you through the habits that you're more than likely utilizing now and how they're holding you back, and look at ways that you can change, like we've outlined in this video, to make real progress in your training. And as an extra, when you join the Evergreen Endurance Runner community, if you message me with the word Jelly Baby, I will send you a copy of my book, The Age Group Blueprint, which normally I sell for £5. Just send me a message with the word Jelly Baby and I'll hook you up with a copy straight away. Thanks for watching the first video. This stuff can feel overwhelming, especially when you're being bombarded with advice from all directions. But I promise you, this is the path to progress in your 50s, 60s, and even 70s. You just need a model that's built for the long game. That's what this series is about, and this community is about. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.